जगन्नाथ लोकनाथ नीलाद्रिसो परहरि दीनबन्धु दया सिन्धु कृपालु च रक्षक. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Utkal Divas. I am absolutely thrilled to be your host for this wonderful event.
Bande Utkala Janani, Jai Jagannath. I am Samiksha and I am truly delighted to co-host this very special occasion alongside our beloved Utpal Bhai.
It is with great joy and excitement that we welcome you all to our celebration of Utkal Divas, a day that honors the heritage, culture and spirit of Odisha. As we stand here, we are deeply grateful to both Odisha and India for shaping who we are, our identity and our heritage.
Absolutely right. And at the same time, we are equally grateful to New Zealand, the place where we live, work and chase our dreams for a better future.
Then, my dear friends, let's come together and embark on this wonderful celebration filled with excitement and anticipation.
But before we begin our festivities, let's take a moment to ensure everyone's safety.
Yeah. For your safety, please take a note. The emergency exit, which are clearly marked in around the venue, and for the emergency doors must be kept clear for any obstruction all time.
In the unlikely event of a fire, we have 2 fire wardens who will guide you to the nearest assembly point. Please keep calm and follow their instructions.
Also a gentle reminder, smoking is not permitted anywhere on the premises. And for your convenience, toilets are clearly marked. Please take the notes for their location.
Kia ora, good afternoon everyone. Before we start any event, we start with the lamp lighting, and this time we are starting with the ladies. So I am going to welcome our important ladies up to the stage. Mrs. Swagatika Bhoya, Christine Panapa, Rima, our Honorable MP Rima Nakle, Pushpa Ben, Shefali Ben, and Shivani ji, please come up the stage.
At the same time, I invite our talented singer to take their place on the stage.
Kavya ji, please.
And lead us for singing the state anthem, a tribute to the spirit of pride of Odisha, right after the ceremonial lighting. love for our motherland and the strength of our unity. Let's carry this pride forward as we continue the celebration of our culture, tradition and heritage. It's with great pleasure that now I invite Dr. Madan Mohan Sethi to deliver the opening address.
Good afternoon to all of you. Namaskar. First of all, I must like to express my thanks to NZ Odia Society for working in hand to hand with the Indian Consulate to host this event. This event is a milestone in the history of Odisha because Odisha as a state was recognized on linguistic basis for the first time in 1936. But here we are not celebrating only Odisha, but we are going to celebrate its culture, tradition and arts. I come from the home state. My home state is also Odisha. I don't want to spend more time in speaking, but in my last 4 months I feel that there are lots of opportunities between India and New Zealand where we can work together. My home state, Odisha, also is a agro-rich state, and here also I understand that New Zealand has lots of strength in agriculture, food processing, in dairy sector, in meat production. So we will be also working in those areas in coming days. So friends, as you know, the recent visit of Prime Minister Watson to India has brought a remarkable transformation in the relationship between both the states, both the countries, and the newly established consulate is committed to take this relationship forward. I'll be happy. My office will work with all the states and the state people who are staying here, who have made New Zealand as their home or here for job purpose, to work with them so that we can spread the culture, our tradition, our arts, our cuisine among the larger Kiwi audience, our Kiwi friends and other countries people who are also made New Zealand as their home. Thank you all of you for coming. I know in NZ is Sunday afternoon to join us. Thank you all.
Now I would like to call Manisha to the stage to introduce our esteemed guests.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming on a Sunday afternoon. I know this is not one of the best times. I want to invite one of our really special guests, Mr. Tu Williams, on the stage to speak on behalf of this auspicious event, the Utkal Divas. I did practice a lot. Please excuse me if I get this wrong. Mr. Tu Williams, Pakatohia, Nati Tai, Nati Poro. Please come on the stage.
Dr. Singh, Consulate General of India, Tāmaki Makaurau. Me te rōpū o Oria Aotearoa. Ka nui te mihi o te ngākau kia koutou. Kia koutou hoki te manuhiri o ngā hau ewha, ngā tini maunga whakahi, ngā tipua, ngā pai maunga. Ko tātū mai nei te whakanui i te kaupapa o te rā. Reira, tēnā koutou, nau mai haere mai. Me te mihi hoki i ngā kia ngātu pātua te mana whenua i ukia mai, te korowai o te manaki ki runga kia mātou, tāmaki heringa waka, tāmaki heringa tangata. Me te mihi hoki i tō tātou kuini ngā wai rono ki te po. Kua noho i runga i te apurewa tapo na mātua na tūpuna. Te kāhui ari ki whāmito, Good afternoon, and may I offer our appreciation to the Consul General, his staff, and the members of the New Zealand Odia Society for the invitation and the opportunity to come together today to commemorate the formation of Odisha as a separate state of India on the 1st of April 1936. Every year it is a celebration all over the province. Thousands of stalls and junki make the festivities a beautiful occasion. Fireworks, competitions arranged by local politicians light up the skies in an amazing display and array of colour. Various cultural programs are arranged, and I understand a display that in song and dance will take place following the formal part of today's commemorative ceremony. Utkal Divas, for those of us who may be unfamiliar with the significance of the commemoration, is a day of remembrance for all Odia people. I'd like to acknowledge and commend the New Zealand Odia Society for bringing us together on this important occasion to celebrate this event of unity and to thank the Consul General for hosting the occasion. Utkal Divas is the day of remembrance for all Odia people who helped everybody be united in the formation and the ongoing commemoration of the Odisha province. It's a privilege for us to be here today to join in the remembrance and to honour this important event of unity, especially at this time when there's so much turmoil and division in the global environment. Therefore, it's important that we hold fast to these important unifying occasions in our global history. It is a privilege as a representative of the Māori community, the tangata whenua, the indigenous people of Aotearoa, New Zealand, to be invited here today to join with the people of Odisha to celebrate, to honour and pay homage to those who acted in unity all those years ago, April the 1st, 1936, to bring together the fruition of the province of Odisha as a separate state of India. At the beginning of this address, I greeted you in Te Reo Māori, an official language of Aotearoa, New Zealand. There is a long history and story to be told about the language, and I'll refer to some of that history, which I'd like to share as part of a parallel narrative of why we are gathered today. I open with a brief mihi or salutation to our host, the Consul General of India, Auckland, to the New Zealand Odia Society, and to the important guests who are here today. And I'd like to just acknowledge especially my colleague from the National MP, Rim. It's good to see you here today. Right, we are drawn from the four winds, from the many mountain peaks, from the many rivers that sustain us, from the special places of speech-making that we may represent. All of us gathered in unity of mind and spirit to honour this special occasion. On our collective behalf, I pay tribute to Ngāti Whātua, who are the people of this land where we are situated right now, acknowledging them for enshrouding us with their cloak of hospitality. Tāmaki heringa waka, tāmaki heringa tangata. Tāmaki, the gathering place of all the canoes that brought our ancestors here from distant shores. Tāmaki heringa tangata, tāmaki where the people gathered at that time after their long voyage, just as we do now. To the Māori Queen, who leads the Kingitanga movement as a symbol and personification of kotahitanga, the Māori word for unity. The greeting aligns with the theme of unity that we're here today to acknowledge and celebrate. On that note, let me share with you for a moment how I see this time together in a hononau, the Māori word for connection, in whanaungatanga, a relationship that I trust will be the start of something special between us that will sustain the test of time. I recall your history with the demise of your king in the 1500s and the long period of recovery and reclamation, concluding finally with the establishment of the Odisha province in 1936. It's estimated that my ancestors arrived in Aotearoa between 1300 and 1500, whence they populated these islands for 1,000 years before the onset of white colonial settlement in 1840, following the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi on February 6th of that year. A kawemata, a covenant made between the chiefs of the tribes of New Zealand and the British Crown. India has something of a parallel experience of British rule, except you were successful in taking back full control and sovereignty of your land and territories. Māori didn't. We didn't because we had a treaty, and it is the expectation of our ancestors who signed it in 1840 that we, as their descendants, and all those to follow, would uphold the purpose and intent of that agreement. Their word and signature was their honour, a promise and guarantee never to be broken. So in brief, what you have witnessed playing out in recent times with the Treaty of Waitangi Principles Bill and Māori and non-Māori activism in opposition to the bill is what it's all about. The Crown Partner hasn't always acted honourably over the lifespan of the treaty, resulting in serious breaches that have led to the appropriation of resources and political, social, economic, cultural and environmental control that was once vested for 1,000 years in our traditional societal structure, which we refer to as whānau, our nuclear family, hapu, our collective nuclear families, and iwi, our collective of hapu. Our whakapapa, which are the genealogical links that bind us for eternity. The 1840 Treaty of Waitangi represents unity. That's how our ancestors viewed it, and in truth, so did the British Crown at the time. It's an agreement to coexist in peace and harmony, acknowledging and respecting the sovereignty of parties over each other's own people and resources, and agreeing to share and collaborate for the benefit of all. It's this truth that Māori as tangata whenua hold fast to, and also to the truth that the treaty upholds the rights and privileges of people from other countries and nationalities who we call tangata treaty and who've chosen to make Aotearoa New Zealand their home. Our role as tangata whenua is to exercise whanaungatanga or relationship building and extend manaakitanga, generosity and hospitality, as our tikanga or our Māori values require of us. We acknowledge, respect and hold in high regard what you bring to Aotearoa New Zealand, a rich heritage and culture that adds the cultural vibrancy of our evolving sense of identity and nationhood. Represented in your language, your distinctive fashion and sense of style, which is on display today, magnificent food, commercial acumen, your work ethic, your intelligence, skills, expertise, and many other distinguishing features. The importance of whānau, or family, as the heartbeat of and pride in your community. Your place as citizens of Aotearoa New Zealand, fulfilling the moemoea, the vision, dreams and aspirations that the Treaty of Waitangi represents. The treaty belongs to us all. It is the ancestors' legacy and our legacy for unity and ora nui, of a well-being that is envisaged for everyone. We are not therefore, we all have a collective responsibility to uphold and honour that legacy. I promised earlier that I would share with you some of the history of the Māori language journey. As we know, language is the heart and soul of culture. It's the waka wairua, the spiritual vessel by which we transmit our beliefs, values, customary systems and practices. With the onset of white settlement post-1840 and the subsequent impact of colonisation, systematic dismantling of the language and culture became the tool by which this assimilation to the gender was to be achieved. Fast forward, people of my parents' generation, whose first language was Te Reo Māori, were banned from and had corporal punishment exacted upon them for speaking the language within the confines of the school. Fast forward once again to the 1970s, when the first survey of the state of the language was conducted. The findings of that survey predicted that within 5 years the language would become extinct. It was a major wake-up call. A Māori language petition of 35,000 signatories was presented to parliamentarians on the steps of Parliament in 1971. The petition called on the government to take action to protect the language. The Waitangi Tribunal set up to inquire into ground breaches of the treaty played an important role when it declared Te Reo Māori to be a taonga, a prized possession, and which the government and the Crown has accepted. 51 years on from the petition, the revitalisation and normalisation of the language led by Māori with the support of government through the establishment of Pohanga Māori language nests, Kurapapa Māori, Māori immersion schools, Wharekura, Māori immersion secondary schools, and Wāmana universities, has seen a marked improvement in the wide use and status of Te Reo as an official language. Furthermore, the expression of our culture and heritage through Te Matatini, the largest cultural festival wherein performing art features a superb display of song and dance entirely Te Reo. However, for all of that, there's more work to be done to ensure its safety and sustainability, and that work is ongoing. Treaty settlements as atonement for historical breaches and egregious injustices that resulted in wholesale and often violent appropriation of Māori resources from 1840 onwards has been an important part of the political process in this country for the past 30 plus years. It has restored the ability for Māori and iwi claiming groups to help in rebuilding an economic pace for themselves and their beneficiaries. So today, on behalf of Te Ao Māori, the Māori world, I want to put a sacred stake in the ground to actively promote the development of a close and long-term beneficial relationship based on our collective values within the people of the province of Odisha and the Indian community at large. Māori have a substantial asset base. In the latest survey report launched 3 weeks ago by the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, and Tupuni Kōkiri, the Ministry of Māori Development, the Māori economy represents the fastest growing part of the country's economy. Between 2018 and 2023, it grew an unprecedented 83% from $69 billion to $126 billion and growing. It's diverse, and its contribution of $45 billion to gross domestic product is significant. So it's no longer a subset of the overall economy, it is in fact central to the economic growth of the country. Māori are interested in partnerships based in the first instance on a sound long-term relationship. Nō hea koe, where are you from? Ko wai koe, who are you? Ko wai ko ingoa, what is your name? Is the framework that we use to determine whether or not a relationship is going to be a good fit. Mutual trust, respect and loyalty are imperative to doing business. Unlike governments who come and go, Māori remain. As the global sovereign wealth funds, $6 trillion of them, who were invited by the government to an investment summit here in Auckland 2 weeks ago, they were told Māori represent continuity, consistency and a safe pair of hands. And that it's likely that some of the infrastructure projects the government is touting may also require Māori endorsement because of land tenure, bank ownership, waihitapu and other matters of cultural significance. So we look forward to furthering this conversation with any Indian investors who have an interest in engaging with Māori on potential investment opportunities. I should mention here, of course, our Prime Minister's recent visit to India, the largest ever New Zealand trade delegation. New Zealand has been seeking a free trade agreement with India for a very long time. And there is optimism in the air. There will be a favourable outcome to his visit that will strengthen further ties between our two countries. In closing, can I once again, on behalf of Tangata Whenua, thank you for the opportunity and privilege to share today's awesome celebration and commemoration of the 89th year of Odisha province becoming a separate state of India, and to extend the hand of whanaungatanga partnership with Te Ao Māori, the Māori world, going forward. Nō reira, Consul General Dr. Seti, me te rōpū Odia o Aotearoa, ka nui te mihi mai o haki a koe, ki a koutou, kei whakarangatira i a tātou te manahiri ko tā mai nei i runga o te reo prava, kia whakakau ai tātou te whakanui i te kaupapa o te rā. Consul General, your staff, and members of the New Zealand Odia Society, we express our appreciation for honouring us as guests today and calling us together to pay tribute to the Odisha Foundation Day celebration 2025. Nō reira, e rau rangatira nā, tēnā koutou, huri nō, tēnā koutou.
Thank you, Mr. Tu Williams. That was indeed beautiful. I would like to invite our Honourable MP, Ms. Rima Nakle, to share a few words.
How did she know to match my shoes? Namaste, kia ora, satsuri akali, everybody. Such a pleasure to be here. Really it is. And part of the pleasure is that it's, for me, one of the first official event I'm coming to, and I've been privileged to be invited to as your guest, Dr. Madam, in your new role. And so I want to say thank you. Thank you for putting this on for our communities and for the warm invitation. It's not unusual for many of my friends and acquaintances in the room to hear me say often how cherished the Indian community is to me. And for someone of a Lebanese background, that I was born in Australia, moved here 13 years ago after I married my darling husband, I feel very at home with our Indian community, as well as our Maori community too, and I've told you that as well. There's so many similarities. The story of Odisha is one that I'm learning about, but we all know to some extent, whether it's a deep knowledge or a kind of basic knowledge, the struggle that India went through. And what's really interesting is that, you know, our Indian community, you celebrate really well, and you wear your beautiful colours, but there's a really sad and dark history if we allow ourselves to think about it. And it's a history that isn't conversed about with me much, to be honest, but in researching about what today means for you, it just conjured those thoughts within me, that there is a history that's bloody and that's awful. And I guess we can thank God that we can reflect back and always appreciate what our ancestors have been through, so we can be here today. So thank you for bringing today together. Thank you for displaying the rich culture, particularly from Odisha. And there's a very special place in Lebanon called Harissa, which I thought about when I was looking up the pronunciation, one of the pronunciations of this state. I want to thank the people in this room that accompanied our Prime Minister recently to India. Dr. Patel as well, I want to thank you. And you're shaking your head, as you usually do, but I do want to thank you and others that accompanied our Prime Minister, allowed him to do what he wanted to do over there, what he needed to do. I want to thank the Indian people and the Indian government, if this does go back over there, for the warm reception, for the Manaki Tanga, for the hospitality you showed our people over there. And may long this good friendship continue. And may long these events continue, Dr. Madan. I'd like to also thank Dr. Anurag for all your support over the years, and my good friend Navtesh Dandawa, it's great to see you here, always supporting our communities. God bless you all. Let's have a beautiful afternoon, and looking forward to many more. And thank you for the flowers.
I want to invite the President of our New Zealand Odia Society Foundation, Nilanchal Mishra ji, to come and give his speech. Thank you.
It's a privilege to stand before you today as we come together to celebrate Utkal Divas, Odisha Day, an occasion that holds immense cultural and historical significance for Odisha across the world. On December 2nd, just about 3 months back, the New Zealand Odia Society had the honor of welcoming our esteemed first ever Consulate General of India. Among other meaningful discussions, we humbly requested his support to celebrate Odisha Day in Auckland. Without any hesitation, he graciously agreed to this. And for this, we are forever thankful to him. Thank you, sir. What was once just a sketchy vision has now transformed into this vibrant and inspiring gathering. Let us take a moment to embrace the grandeur and the spirit of today's celebration. At first glance, Odisha and New Zealand may seem worlds apart, yet as we explore their landscape, ecosystem, especially economy and culture, we find that there are more similarities than differences. I'll just touch upon one similarity, which is the cultural similarity. Whanau means family in Maori. Whanau bonds Middle Odisha's Jagannath consciousness, which promotes universal brotherhood, which is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is happy. Maori Kaitia Pitanga, which is guardianship of nature, resonates with Odisha's Navakalibara ritual, which respects sacred trees. Maori Haka and Vayata are akin to Odisha's Pala, Dastatia and Jatra folk performances. Maori Otahitanga, togetherness, and Odisha's Rath Yatra festival emphasize the power of community participation. Maori Atua, which is spirits, play a guiding role in life, much like Lord Jagannath, revered and respected as the living deity, Jalanti Pratima in Odisha. With these remarkable similarities, it is only natural that Odisha and New Zealand forge new and deeper connections, enhancing socio-economic, cultural and educational exchanges. This presents an incredible opportunity for stronger trade relations and cultural collaborations between New Zealand and Odisha. We at the New Zealand Odia Society are excited about the immense future possibilities that lie ahead of us. We wholeheartedly support initiatives that will strengthen business, trade and cultural ties between New Zealand and Odisha. We stand committed to playing an active role as a partner with the Office of the Consulate General of India. Let us continue to celebrate our similarities, embracing our values and working together to build a future New Zealand-Odisha connections where the ties between New Zealand and Odisha grow stronger and stronger with each passing year. Jai Jagannath, thank you and God bless.
Culture and the deep-rooted tradition that makes us who we are.
Absolutely right. And in Odia, we don't just say we are proud to be Odias. We say, Ame Odia, Mari Odia.
Come on everyone, Ame Odia, Bhari Odia. And trust me, it's not just a page for us, it's whole wide. Being Odia is more than just an identity. It's a feeling of pride, greatness and deep connection to our rich cultural heritage. And speaking of greatness, Samiksha, I have one question for you. Do you know what the largest kitchen in the world is?
Largest kitchen. Why, if it's not the kitchen during a big fat Odia wedding, then I'm really curious to know.
Nice guess, but not correct. The largest kitchen in the world is in Puri, in Odisha. And guess what? Over 400 people are involved in cooking for more than 10,000 people in every single day.
Wow, that's like feeding an entire cricket stadium audience. How amazing is that? And here it was, cooking every day for my husband and me was a challenge.
Yes. Now speaking of rich history, Samiksha, I have one question for you. Do you know the old name of Odisha?
Of course, bhai. We just sang Bombay Utkal Janani. The two names are Kalinga and Utkal. The two names that still echo through time.
Wow, impressive. I can tell you, you have done your homework. Audience, did you know history is like a gallery of pictures, some original and lots of copies, just like our culture, rooted in the ancient past but always evolving and finding new way to shine.
And if you don't know any history of Odisha, well, you don't really know us. The history of Odisha is often described in great mythological texts like the Mahabharata, Govinda Stotra and other ancient Puranas.
Exactly. Now friends, let's make our memories glorious by watching a brief video that will take us through the rich, fascinating history of Odisha.
The region now known as Odisha was known in ancient times under various names, the most prominent of which were Kalinga, Utkala, Odra, Tosli, Kangoda and Kosala. The Kalinga. Among the different political units of this ancient land, Kalinga occupied a prominent place. The fertile coastal plains stretching from the mouth of the river Ganges up to Godavari with mountains and forests gave a natural boundary to Kalinga. The name Kalinga occurs in the Puranas in association with Anga, Vanga, Undra and Sumha. In the Mahabharata there is an indication about the location and the extent of Kalinga. The Utkala. The territory of Utkala has been narrated in various Puranas. Utkala appears in the Mahabharata in association with the countries of Odras, Mekla, Kalinga, Darshana and Andhras. Tradition associates the origin of Utkala with Vaivasvata Manu, who finds mention among the kings of India. It is said that Ilasudyumna, of the 10 sons of Manu, who became male and female alternatively, gave birth to Utkala, Gaya and Uru. He distributed the portion of his territory received from Manu among his sons, and the land which came under the sway of Utkala was known as Utkala. This geographical name has also found mention in the Ramayana and is considered by some scholars to be older than Kalinga. Utkala has found mention in Kalidasa's Raghuvansham as a neighboring kingdom of Kalinga.
Witness the history of Odisha. But there's something even more interesting. The rich, glorious maritime past of Odisha. Our ancient traders traveled far through Southeast Asia to different countries like Burma, Indonesia and Sri Lanka, forging trade and cultural ties. An era that is now famously celebrated as Bandi Jatra, one of Asia's largest open-air trade fairs. That's really amazing. But we have seen our history. Now let's come to the present and see how far we have come.
Yes. Coming to innovation. Innovation is all about investigation and feasibility. But transformation takes it a step further, refining the process to implement the radical changes. The true meaning of innovation and transformation go hand in hand, one leading to the other.
Now let's take a look at the innovation and transformation of Odisha in action.
Odisha, where tradition meets modernity, from sacred journeys to a thriving technological ecosystem. A state which is a model of good governance, a major resource hub, and a promising investment destination. Odisha is at the forefront of India's digital revolution, emerging as a hub for IT and ITES, AI, fintech, and semiconductor innovation, with state-of-the-art infrastructure, investor-friendly policies, and a future-ready workforce. The state is attracting global IT giants and high-growth startups. At the heart of this transformation is Bhubaneswar, Odisha's capital city. With a thriving digital economy, Odisha is rapidly becoming a key player in India's technology landscape. The state has emerged as a preferred destination for leaders and enterprises, hosting many industry giants. A talent powerhouse, Odisha produces over 1.7 lakh skilled graduates annually from premier educational institutions, polytechnics and ITIs, fueling industries worldwide. The state is also establishing a center of excellence in semiconductors and future tech skilling, reinforcing Odisha's role in the global supply chain. Guided by the vision of Viksit Odisha 2036 and Viksit Bharat 2047, the state aims to become a $500 billion economy by 2036 and a $1.5 trillion economy by 2047. Upcoming initiatives such as the state-of-the-art semiconductor park, cable landing station in Puri, new IT parks, GCC hubs, fintech cluster, and data centers underline the state's commitment to achieve this vision. With programs like OCHIP and upcoming policies including IT, GCC, fintech, semiconductor, and AI, Odisha is setting benchmarks in electronics, IT, and semiconductors. These advancements, alongside progressive policies and digital infrastructure, position Odisha as a future-ready digital economy, primed for innovation and global leadership. A state that dreams big, turns vision into reality, and paves the way for a brighter tomorrow. We welcome you to join us in shaping India's next growth story, Odisha, the next frontier of innovation and transformation.
Of Odisha's rich heritage, I have one more question for you. Can I?
Absolutely.
Do you know, Samikha, that out of 7 wonders of India, one is located in Odisha?
Yes, who doesn't know? The Konark Sun Temple.
That's right. And Konark is not just a marvel of architecture, it's also beautiful tiles into one of Odisha's most cherished tradition, Odissi dance. Have you ever seen those intricate carving on the temple? You will not believe. They will the original dance tutorial.
Absolutely, they're absolutely dance tutorials. You can just look at the carvings and learn dancing. Sorry, I'm kidding. But yes, the carvings really capture the elegance of dance.
That's right. And Odissi, which evolved from the temple dance of Devdasi, has been gracing the stage of century. Just like Odissi, Odisha's culture is timeless, constantly evolving while staying rooted in tradition.
Exactly. It's like me, growing, coming and living in New Zealand, but I'm always remembering where I come from.
I see, Samikha, not only you are well versed in history, but you have got the charm to back it up.
Thank you. But when it comes to dancing, I'll happily leave that to the experts. I am not at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's now watch a truly special performance and message from internationally acclaimed Odissi dancer, choreographer, and guru, Shri Saswat Joshi.
Here is the most fact about him. Guru Saswat Joshi performed in front of 20 iconic towers worldwide, bringing Odisha and other traditional Odia dance to global stages.
Watch this.
Jai Jagannath, Vande Utkal. This is Saswat Joshi. I'm an Odissi dancer and a choreographer. And I'm very happy and I feel that I'm here today in front of you. Indian Consulate General of Auckland is celebrating Utkal Divas. I sincerely pray Lord Jagannath, it should be a great event. And you're all watching me now, but I'm unable to dance with you all. But the post behind Utkal Divas, the Consulate General of India and Auckland, Mr. Dr. C is a very vibrant person and cultural enthusiast, and the most important thing is a promoter of Indian heritage, Indian culture all over the globe. I had experiences because during his last tenure in Vietnam, he went and performed and he achieved the success of Utkal Divas celebration at Vietnam. But in Auckland, it is the first time he's celebrating Utkal Divas. I remember one thing very well. Matrubhumi Matruphasare Mamata Jate Janamilani Tapu Jatikani Morare Manika Ogyanara. So on this day we should remember the sacrifice and the power of Odia hero, and let's pay a tribute for all the achievers of Odisha. And my sincere thanks to Dr. Madan Mohan sir. But I promise I will come and perform live for all in coming days. Thank you so much. My sincere and heartfelt thanks. And Utkala Janani is our motherland. Vande Utkala Janani, Jai Jagannath. Wish you all a happy and prosperous Utkal Divas day.
Smiling message from Guru Saswat Joshi. His words and dance not only celebrate our culture, but also remind us of the deep spiritual connection we have with our heritage. And to be honest, audience, it's really humbling to see such global recognition of Odissi, a dance form that has always been part of Odisha's soul.
Absolutely, Samikha. As we move forward, let us carry the same spirit of pride and reverence of our culture. Guru Saswat Joshi's performance encapsulates the beauty and depth of Odissi. And now, transition to another vital aspect of Odisha's rich tradition, its vibrant indigenous culture. Odisha is renowned for its deep-rooted indigenous heritage and let's celebrate that to watch certain video showcasing its diversity of our communities.
Let's watch the video. Dear friends, having seen the video, we are now going to witness a truly special performance. Odisha is a land of diverse indigenous communities, and today we are going to see two such performances. Demsa is a traditional indigenous dance form from southern part of Odisha, Koraput region, and that's not all. This dance will also feature the vibrant Sambalpuri folk dance from western Odisha, bringing together two unique indigenous traditions into a beautiful dance of celebrating the rhythm and culture of Odisha.
In Demsa, dancers form groups holding each other by shoulder and waist, moving in sync to the rhythm of traditional instruments, creating a rhythm that impossible not to move to. And when blended with high energy beat of Sambalpuri folk dance, this performance by our little star promised to be too spectacular.
Absolutely. Now as we watch the youngest members of New Zealand Odia Society bring these two traditional dance forms to life, I'm sure we wouldn't be surprised if you feel compelled to move along with them, and feel free to join them.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a big round of applause and celebrate the rich cultural spirit of Odisha.
ये चैत परब बड़ बेट मजा ये परा सरदा नाई ये टकी राशि सांगे पिला मादा देखा धेमुसा करिबा पाई ये मोरा दादाले फुक टोकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे टोकी राशि के नाच नाचाइबी टोकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे टोकी राशि के नाच नाचाइबी ए चैत परब गीत मारी मारी डांडे जाई ठिया हेबी ए चैत परब गीत मारी मारी डांडे जाई ठिया हेबी टोकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे टोकी राशि के नाच नाचाइबी दिया मोइरा दादा रे टोकी राशि के नाच नाचाइबी ए चैत परब गीत मारी मारी डांडे जाई ठिया हेबी ए चैत परब गीत मारी मारी डांडे जाई ठिया हेबी टोकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे टोकी राशि के नाच नाचाइबी टोकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे टोकी राशि के नाच नाचाइबी
कोरापुटिया गीत गाई कर ढेमसा मारू नाना डुडुंगा बाजाई मेरी फुकी ढेमसा मारू नाना
हे चैत पर्व गीत मारी मारी डाँडे जाइ ठिया हेबी हे चैत पर्व गीत मारी मारी डाँडे जाइ ठिया हेबी
फुकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे पिला रसिके नाच नचाइबे फुकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे पिला रसिके नाच नचाइबे फुकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे पिला रसिके नाच नचाइबे फुकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे पिला रसिके नाच नचाइबे फुकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे पिला रसिके नाच नचाइबे फुकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे पिला रसिके नाच नचाइबे फुकी दिया मोइरा दादा रे पिला रसिके नाच नचाइबे
Wasn't that an incredible performance by our young stars, keeping our indigenous heritage alive even in New Zealand?
Absolutely, Samikha. Their passion and energy are truly inspiring. Now let's keep that energy flowing as we continue to explore the heart and soul of Odisha.
Absolutely. Odisha is a treasure trove, boasting everything from pristine beaches to lush forests, diverse wildlife, ancient temples, archaeological heritage, and a vibrant culture that's as timeless as vibrant.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's embark on a virtual journey to Odisha and experience its wonders firsthand.
Odisha, India's best kept secret, ready to unfold before your eyes. Let's dive into this beautiful video showcasing our state's mesmerizing beauty and unique offerings. Beautiful journey through Odisha. I'm sure some of you in the audience are already planning to book your tickets to Odisha for your next trip. And if you aren't, you should, because there's nothing like experiencing Odisha in person.
Absolutely, Samikha. And speaking of Odisha's rich cultural essence, let me share a beautiful Sanskrit proverb. Yatho bharta tatho drishti, yatho drishti tatho mana, yatho mana tatho bhava, yatho bhava tatho nritya.
In English, they mean where the hands are, the eyes follow. Where the eyes are, the mind follows. Where the mind goes, the expression follows. Where there is expression, there is dance.
This proverb truly captures the heart of Odisseans. Every movement and gesture is not just a physical act, but an expression of deep emotions.
Odissi follows the ancient teachings of Natya Shastra, where each gesture, movement, and expression tells a beautiful story, capturing deep emotions known as the nine rasas. This dance truly speaks to the soul.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome with warm applause our little star of New Zealand Odia Society, Susri Utpal, who will be performing a divine piece that embodies spirit of Odisha. dear audience, coming up next, we have something truly special for you all, an exploration into the rich literary tradition of Odisha.
Absolutely. Odisha's literature is not only a reflection of its history, but is also a window into its vibrant culture.
And today, we are fortunate to have our own in-house poet who brings the literary world to life.
So without further ado, let's welcome our very talented Chandan Priyadarshi Bhai.
Thank you, Samika. Thank you, Utkal. You guys are really very wonderful. Thanks for your questions. I know we are running a little late, but I have something really, really interesting to tell you. I'm sure you'll really. I'm not talking about the history. We know that we are celebrating Utkal Divas, which is like Odisha was the first state to be recognized in India based upon the language. So I'm here to give you a bit of sneak peek of the literature, the power of the literature, the power of the Odia literature. So whoever do not know me, my name is Priyadarshi Chandan. I'm here to give you little bit about Odia literature, and I'm going to give you tribute about the people, those who have contributed to this movement. So the journey was not easy. The road was not easy to get to this day. So we started by 1982, and I'll tell you the interesting fact. The fact is, this journey 1982 to 1936, it's more than 50 years. It was not a army movement. It was not a political movement. It was a movement of culture and literature. So can you imagine if anywhere in the world, without army movement, without political movement, can you get this kind of result? So to come to prove to that, I will tell you how the things happen. So basically, when couple of poets, couple of writers, they formed this thing, they saw that the Odia language is not going anywhere. So to restore the language, they come up with the idea to form a group of poet and literature loving people. And they started the journey with communicating with their poetry and literatures. So I'm just getting the light on my face, so from where I'm just trying to articulate. So when I say literature, I'll come to the point. I'll give a tribute. I'm sure what I'm going to do is I'll pick up some of the famous lines what he has done, and then what I'm going to tell you is how the powerful literature can create such movement. So basically, if I come about the poetry or literature, poetry, what you say is always literature. When you say literature is a collection of written work, poetry is the crowd. Or in other way you can say, poetry can communicate before you can understand. Before somebody understands, poetry can communicate. Or I will say, poetry is an echo. It is an echo. Ask for a shadow to dance. So if you are a shadow, poetry can make a shadow to dance. Or let me simplify. Where emotion has found the thought, when thought has found the word, when thought got break, when word got born, that's what you call poetry. So what I'm going to, I know we are running late, so to go making it fast, what I'm going to tell you, I'll pick some of our great poets, I'll pick some of their few lines from their poetry, and then you'll understand what are the power of the literature. So to start with, what the frame I follow is, I'll say, I'll talk in the original one, then I'll translate it up, but you can read the translation from this page as well. So the picture what you are seeing is the pioneer, the leader who started this, Madhusudan Das. So he started saying, that was a wake-up call kind of poetry. Uthare, Santana, Uthi Puru Kete Dine, Purubo, Gaurabo, Purubo, Chaligo ki kebe mane. Rise you children of Odisha. Rise you children of Odisha. How long you will remain asleep? When you will remember, when you will recall the history, the past glory, the ancient courage, bravery. Then another one you will definitely love it. So what he has mentioned is like Jati Nandi Goso Chaligo ki bhai Parthaku Sarati Kole. Jati Nandi Goso Chaligo ki bhai Parthaku Sarati Kole. Dane Tire Gari Danara Toboda Ghoda Muhe Banga Tile. What it means, do you think your nation chariot will move ahead if you make yourself as a charioteer? If you make your selfishness as a charioteer, do you think your nation chariot will move? Do you think the horse will pull the cart if you put the food bag on his face? So basically, what he's trying to say, if you become very selfish, if you become very busy in all your stuff, you have no time to give to the community. So community will not move. So I'll move to the other one, another point, Gangadhar Meher. So basically, he had a madly love on his language. So according to him, preserving the mother tongue is not just about the preserving the language. It is like keeping the heritage alive. So you have so I'll just read two of his lines. Ucha haba pai jebe karo asa ucha karo ago nijo matubasa. If you really want to uplift yourself, uplift your mother tongue. So basically, everybody has a mother tongue. Maori tongue, we have all language. You have to uplift your mother tongue. Then the other beautiful lines, what he has written is Matrubhumi matru bhasare mamata jahude janami nahi taku jati ame gyani gonare godiba objani rahibe kahi. If the love for motherland, if the love for your mother tongue is never born in your life, born in your heart, then yet you call these people as a wise people, then whom should you tell ignorant? So the love for your motherland, love for your language has to be there in your heart. So moving on to another similar word, Bhakti Mohan Senapati, what he has written, Kodili Gangadesa Bhasa, Kahire Nokulila Asa, Heupose Nikushta Mo Bhasa Mo Mai Seshta. I read a lot of language. I have traveled a lot of countries. Let it be inferior, but my language is best. So that was the kind of things literature you are putting. Then I am moving to quickly to the another poet, social activity, Utkalmani Gomondo. I'll recall quickly the word Mahatma Gandhi has said, if you really want to free yourself, if you really want, then you have to get involved into all kinds of social activities. So Utkalmani Gomondo told in similar language, Mishu Doro Teho Edeso Matire Deso Vasi Chali Jantu Pitire Desora Soraje Abchi Jate Ghara Pori Koru Puri Kahi Koro Manso Hara. So let my body merge with the soil of my motherland. Let the people go ahead. Let me be behind and let it go ahead. So wherever there is praise or obstacle, let my bone and place be there and do that. Then I move to the last one. So I'm quickly, why I'm saying this? Because these are the poetry on those movement times, really working off the people, really giving the energy to come up with the sense of unity, to bring the sense of unity. So the last one is like similar way. What I was talking about the Bhima boy. What he said is, Praniko, Arata, Tuto, Promito, Teku Kiba Sahu, Mojiboro Pache, Norke Padithau, Jivana Jagata Udara. So what it means is like, there are so many agonies, so many suffering all around. How can I tolerate all these things? And if you think, let my soul be condemned to hell, but let the universe be redeemed. So I know. So now I'm just giving to Samik and Utpal. Thank you.
Thank you, bhai. Audience, from the majestic Konark Sun Temple to beautiful handloom weaves, from classical dance to soulful music, Odisha's rich heritage shines through its festival, art, cuisine and craftsmanship, something we carry with pride wherever we go.
Absolutely. And speaking of pride, Utkal and I are proudly wearing Odia traditional handloom weaves. And I must say, I can see so many lovely ladies in the audience are also proudly flaunting their traditional Odia handloom weaves. And audience, there are also beautiful Odia handloom weaves on display from different parts of the state, showcasing unique designs and motifs. So do take a moment to admire them after the event.
And to celebrate with rich culture, let's take a moment to experience the essence of Odisha through this special video. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax and enjoy this journey into our culture and heritage. to guest, we have been mesmerizing Odisha chants. That's a perfect blend of devotion and patriotism.
So let's begin. Please join me in welcoming Tapasya to the stage.
ଶୈଳ ପ୍ରବଳ ମତ ବାରଣ ପ୍ରବଳ ମତ ବାରଣ ମୋଆରତ ନଳିନୀ ବନକୁ କର ଦଳନ ଆହେ ନୀଳ ଶୈଳ गजराज चिंता कल थाई घोर जलेन गजराज चिंता कल थाई घोर जलेन चक्र पेशी नक्र नासी उधारे आपण आहे नील शैल सभा तले शुणी द्रौपदीर जनाण गुरु सभा तले शुणी द्रौपदीर जनाण कोटी वस्त्र देले लज्जा कल बारण आहे नील शैल साल बेगयेन जाति रे मो जवन श्रीरंगा चरण तले करुअछि जणाण आहे नील शैल
वन्दे उत्कल जननी 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 चारुहासमयी चारुभासमयी जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी
वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी चारुहासमयी चारुभासमयी चारुहासमयी चारुभासमयी जननी 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 वन्दे उत्कल जननी भूत पयदि विधौत शरीर ताल तमाळ सुसवित तीर भूत पयदि विधौत शरीर ताळतमाळ सुशोभित तीर सुब्रत टिनिकुळ शिखर समीर सुब्रत टिनिकुळ शिखर समीर वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे
We are running late. I know we have only few things to cover. So till the time they will set up the stage, I'll give you a hakka actually. I know who doesn't like a hakka. All black hakka is something like whether you are a sports lover or whether you are not a sports lover, but you never miss all black hakka. So what I'm doing is, in my Odia also, there is a kind of hakka. I'm leaving up to you to decide whether it is coming to that close or not, but I'll just read it out. Who understand the Odia, I'm sure they will read it up. And meanwhile, I'll just follow the translation and be putting it there. I'll make it really fast. So Godavari Smapatra, that's a poem, Utkal. So it was like Hakka, it gives a lot of energy. The moment you listen to the Hakka, you get a goosebump. So this was a kind of song like those days they used to, it is used to be run, it is used to be there in all corners of Odisha. So I'll just recite it in Odia first, then I'll put the translation and then you can follow the translation. Or if time permits, I'll just translate it for you. The poetry was like this. Durgamagiri Durga Prachira Jinna Duvare Vasi Dake Tantrika Mantra Sadhane Jagrata Puravasi. Durgamagiri Durga Prachira Jinna Duvare Vasi Dake Tantrika Mantra Sadhane Jagrata Puravasi. Pruthvi Vidari Baramati Marat Uta Chancha Korodara Sata Pai Koro Saro Karo Unnata Karo Utha Kankara Chidu Sundara Jago Durporo Aji Utha Kankara Chidu Sundara Jago Durporo Aji Uthu Uta Gaurava Bata Gaurava Muta Gaurava Raji Bero nahi Kankara Teko Chanchara Mata Bero nahi Kankara Teko Chanchara Mata Vidari Ukora Nirmala Tava Pinchar Uthu Betha Baji Uthu Bare Marana Vijay Vansi Se Buku Kare Dhwajati Jata Jata Kampai Jaubana Kata Kautu Hare Utha Kankara Utha Durpara Jaga Durpara Aji Uthu Gata Gaurava Huta Gaurava Muta Gaurava Aji. So just the translation I just say that Hindi protest was so inaccessible. The old mighty gate was now vulnerable. The valor and glory, a thing of past, with nostalgia can be a brave heart. Listen the octavists, listen the magician's spell calling. The brave of yesterday's for awakening. O warrior, buried under the velvety soil, alive instantly, tear open from beneath without fail. Keep the head high of the Buddha warrior. I know I'm rushing, but little background on Buddha. Buddha was a pipe revelation started in Buddha. Lot of brave people have come from Buddha. So there was like whenever we take a reference, we take all the brave people from Buddha, like Bakshi Jagabandhu, Jai Radhaguru. We have Chaki Kudia who was training to Lakshmi Badi Lakshmi Bai. So I'll give a secret. I don't know whether I can say that or not. So our mothers are native is Odisha we say Odisha best kept secret. We always say best kept secret. This is my secret. I'm revealing for you. The native of our CGI, which Dr. Madan Mohan said is his hometown called Khordha. Odisha. Khordha. So Khordha is a brave land. So I'm sure his forefather must have been part of that journey, part of that revelation. So, and to make it, I have another quote. I know we are pushing out against the time. So can I request Partha Bhai? He is a professor. literature. So there are so many people who love literature. Definitely this is not the time. I know what you are going to do. So can I talk one to one? So I don't want to be the light standing against the sun. So the sun is here. So I'm handing over to Patubhai.
Namaskar, Jai Jagannath. Again, I'm extra filler. I have come as an extra because Priyadarshi contacted me some time ago to write a poem which can nicely commemorate the beautiful day we are celebrating, right? Now, I'm an engineer. Unfortunately, I'm quite far away from poetry, so I tried to do something based on his instructions. So, however, I can guarantee that I didn't use ChatGPT. I tried myself. Okay, so let me start with a little story. I won't take too much time. People spoke about Konark. Am I audible at the back? So people spoke about Konark, and there's a poignant story with Konark, which is written as a poem by none other than Utkalamani Gopabandhu Das. Gopabandhu Das was also mentioned by you. And that poem is called Dharmapada. So the story was like this, that Dharmapada is only 12 years old, is a little child. But from childhood he has learned to be a great artist with his father. But the temple is complete, but the pinnacle of completion would be when the chuli would be established. The chuli is the final architecture that has to be placed at the top of the temple. And none of the architects are able to do it. And on the night, the king has given a ultimatum. If the chudi is not established by the dawn, then all the 1200 artisans will be slaughtered the following day. It is Dharmapada who is able to establish the chudi, and he commits the ultimate sacrifice by jumping into the ocean. So I will just read a short poem in light of that. Chalo Monare Godiba Konarka. Chalo Monare Godiba Konarka. Let's build a temple of Konark in our own minds. E Utkala Santana, Chalo Monare Godiba Konarka, Emana Diptimanta Hebo, Premara Srotare, Konarkara Sama. Narohiba Bhedabhava, Narohiba Klesa, Ekakar Hojao E Bharata Varsa, E Utkala Santana, Chalo Monare Godiba Konarka. Utkarsa, Kolare Chalo Bhavideva Mana, Kolsa, Kalima Sabu, Hojao Lina, Konarkara Sama, E Utkala Santana, Chalo Monare Godiba Konarka. Chalamandu Tekidaba Konarkara Chula, Emanaku, Koridaba, Urdhopatagami, Dharmapada Pari, E Utkala Santana, Chalo Monare Godiba.
I know we are running out of time, so I'll give it the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to witness a truly special performance. We have here three senior maestros, who's Guru Chintamani Ratha, Guru Basant Mathur, and their dedication to their craft has earned them great respect in the world of Indian classical music. So we are very honored to have them here.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this beautiful classical instrumental performance. Please join me in welcoming Guru Chintamani Ratha on violin, Guru Basant Mathur on tabla, and Srimati Utkal Ratha on tanpura.
Jai Jagannath, Jai Utkal Janani. वो हेमंत राग है. I will present the rag Hemant.
is a beautiful blend of Odissi semi-classical dance with touch of Odia folk dance, a true tribute to the powerful women of Odisha.
So let's make some noise and cheer for our beautiful and talented Odia community ladies.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's show our support and cheer on our talented Odia ladies as they bring life to the strength and grace of Odia women.
भूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विद्यारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः स्वरूपिणी हे गिरि नंदिनी विश्व विजयिनी कल्याणकारिणी मातृस्वरूपिणी संकटहारिणी तू जगत भितरे राणी तू दुष्टंकु प्रिया पाणी जुगे जुगे अवतार पूजा जय जय माँ जय जय माता सबुजा जय जय माँ जय माता आई गिरि नंदिनी नंदित मेदिनी विश्व विनोदिनी नंदनुते गिरिवर विंध्य शिरोधिनी वासिनी विष्णु विलासिनी जिष्णुनुते भगवती हे सिद्धि कंठ कुटुंबिनी भूरि कुदुंबिनी भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुर मर्दिनी रम्यक वर्दिनी शैलसुते आई गिरि 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 गिरि
Absolutely.
Odisha is not just a land of rich culture and heritage, but it's also a land of delicious food. And we have got some really mouth-watering Odia snacks for you after the event. But before we indulge, let's take a moment to wrap this beautiful celebration.
Dear friends, as we come to the end of this beautiful celebration, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Consulate General of India for making this event possible. A big thank you to MP Rima Nakle, the Member of Parliament for Takatani Constitution, and Honorable 2 Williams for gracing us with their presence today. We also want to express our sincere appreciation to the NZ Odia Society President, our incredible performers, dedicated volunteers, and everyone who worked tirelessly behind the scenes to bring this event to life. And of course, a special thanks to all of you for being here and celebrating with us. Your presence has made this occasion even more special for us.
Absolutely. Today we have celebrated the rich culture, tradition and heritage of Odisha, and it's truly heartwarming to share these beautiful moments with you all.
Dear audience, as we conclude, let's remember that the richness of our tradition, the strength of our community, and the unity in our diversity are what makes us truly special. We are grateful to the chance to come together for this celebration.
Thank you once again to everyone for being here with us. Today, as we celebrate, we are really honored to have you all here with us, and we look forward to seeing you at future events. But until then, let's continue and let's pledge to celebrate, honor and preserve our diverse cultures.
Ladies and gentlemen, wishing you a wonderful evening ahead. Stay safe, stay connected. Vande Utkal Janani, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath.